Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Sandy. Thank you for popping over to my channel. I have here a card that I made, and it's a card with a pocket. So what I did on the front part, on the front of the card is I've just did some simple embellishments. I added some sequins, some washi tape, and a die cut that says thanks. And you open up the card, and there's a place here to write a message. And I used one of my rectangle dies with a stitch edging around it where you can write the message. I also added a ribbon die as well, just to decorate the inside of the card, and it's also some washi there. And then on the back of the card is the pocket, and you open the pocket and you can add some craft goodies in there. You can also add some tea bags, some coffee sachets, washi samples, some trim, anything you like. So I just thought that's a nice way to give somebody a card, and there's also a gift behind the card, and that's enclosed inside this pocket here. The card itself measures approximately 4 inches, but not quite. So it's really, I think, about 3 by 3 7/8 inches by 5.5. It's also still nice and flat, even with some goodies inside, and can still be put in a standard size envelope as well if you want to send something like this away. So it's still pretty good to send through. So I'm also going to show you now how you could make one of these as well. So I'll just put that to the side. What you need is some cardstock or paper, and you want to cut your paper at 12 inches by 7.5 inches. Well, basically your paper will be 12 inches anyway. Oops, sorry. So on the 12-inch side of your paper, you are going to score it at 3 3/4, 7 5/8, and that's the little green mark just here after the 7.5 inch mark. So that's 7 5/8 all the way down, and 11.5 inches all the way down. And we flip the paper over to the 7.5 inch side. We'll score it at 1/2 inch all the way down to the bottom, and 6 inches all the way down to the bottom. And that's it for the scoring. The next step is we'll need to do a little bit of cutting out some pieces here. So the first step we'll do is we are going to cut the two rectangle pieces that are on the bottom of the paper, which is actually the wider part where we scored. So we are going to cut that off and this side off. So I'll show you. So at the score line, we're going to cut it right up to the first score line. So we'll cut that up to the top there, and we'll take out this bit here. So that piece is gone, and now we'll also cut out this corner here. Okay, so we don't need them. So you should have like a flap on its own at the bottom. The next step is we'll turn it over, and you'll get a little square corner here. We're going to take that little corner out. So let's do that. Cut that off. Cut that side off. And also we are going to cut out this whole bottom part here up to that score line, and up to that top score line here. So we'll cut all that off. so that's how your paper should lay out now. And I'm just going to use my smaller scissors and I'm just going to cut these in at an angle, just the little bottom bit here. It's just that it'll be easier to fold up and tuck away, and also this side here as well. And just cut that in an angle. Okay, so that's how it will look. Okay, so the next step is we've got the flap up here, and that's the flap of your pocket. And what I've done with the edge of the flap is I've used my scalloped edge decorative scissors just to give it a decorative finish. If you don't have any of these sort of scissors, you can maybe just use your corner rounder punch, and you can just corner around the edge or just leave it plain. I'm just going to cut off this little bit here. It's still a little bit, okay, sorry. So I'm just going to go ahead now and just cut off using my decorative scissors. Alright, it's not the best, but that's okay. Alright, so we've done that, and now we've just got one more step to do before we assemble the card. We're going to get, if you have a round paper circle punch, this is a Stampin' Up! 2.5 inch circle punch. We're just going to make a like a little notch there at the pocket. If you don't have a round circle punch, you don't really. It's not something you have to do. I'm just going to. Okay, so on this side here where we've got the little flap on the bottom, and on this side, that's where we're going to punch the half circle. So I'm just going to around about there and take that off. Okay. Alright, so now the next step we are going to do is we are going to fold this in at the score line. Just fold that in, and then just give it a good press with your scoring tool or bone folder. Now you might get this little bit there that's sticking out. I'm just going to cut that off with a pair of scissors, because that's just going to add too much bulk when you fold, just like that. Okay, so now you've got that. The next step is this part here. We are going to fold that back. I'm going to fold that back onto itself. Press down onto the fold line. Okay, so now it should look like that. And this flap here and this one, we will just open it up, bring that in, fold that, and fold your bottom flap up. Okay, so that will go in like that. You might just need to just play around with the alignment of your folds sometimes, because there's a couple of folds. You just might need to just give it a little bit of manoeuvring around. Okay, and then that's your flap, and that just folds over at the back. Okay, and that's it. So we'll start again. So there's your front. Then you turn that to the back, and there's your pocket. So what we'll have to do now, we'll just open it up. We'll just add some glue to these flaps. So I'll just do that. You can use double-sided tape if you like as well. And then we just close that over. to just stick together. Might just take a few seconds for my glue to set. So I much prefer to use liquid glue when it's these sort of projects instead of the double-sided tape, because with the double-sided tape, sometimes once you've got it stuck, it's really hard to move it around. Okay, so there we have it. And there's your flap, your pocket, and there's your card. I'm just going to trim this a little bit here. It's bothering me. Okay. And then all you have to do is just assemble the card, embellish your front of the card. So that's how it looks. Turn it over, and there's your pocket. And then just add some Velcro if you want, or you can just leave it the way it is, or you can actually add some, what do you call it, like the a brad, and add some string to hold it in place. So that's my card and pocket. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I hope you also make one yourself. And thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.